The Mobile County Public Schools presents Homeroom.
Hi, and welcome to Homeroom, where we introduce you to the students and the educators and the people who make Mobile County Public Schools the best school district in the state of Alabama. I'm your host, Renee Phillips. While we emphasize academics here in Mobile County Public Schools and graduating college and career ready, we also provide opportunities for our students to give back to our community. Our students truly want to make this world a better place, and they are enthusiastic in their efforts to raise money and awareness for various causes. Joining us for today's episode are representatives of 3 organizations that are near and dear to the MCPSS family. We will hear from the United Way and from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. But first, I have a very special guest. I have Brooke Nicholas and also Jennifer Shirley. And so Brooke, we all fell in love with her daughter, Aubrey, who is diagnosed with a rare form of a brain tumor known as DIPG, or diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. Aubrey was a student at Allentown Elementary as she fought this disease bravely with her smiles and her spunky spirit. She brought us the Lemon Face Challenge, where everyone from Nick Saban to state and local politicians to superintendents and principals and students sucked on lemons in her honor. The Nicholas family has worked hard to make people aware of DIPG, which is a very aggressive brain tumor. About 300 children in the United States are diagnosed with DIPG each year. Aubrey fought the disease for 11 months and passed away in 2019. But through Aubrey's Army Foundation 328 and the work of her family and her friends, her memory will always live on. So hello, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And I do want to say first, I admire the grace and the perseverance that you've had through this. So why do you keep it going?
Well, first of all, Aubrey fought a fight that you wouldn't want anyone, your worst enemy, to fight. She fought it with poise and always with a smile on her face. Mm-hmm. So we promised to keep that fight going once, or if she were to pass. We wanted to keep it going, let everyone know what it was, to get more research for it, and we don't want any other family to have to go through what we went through. And
your foundation is called Aubrey's Army Foundation 328.
Yes.
What's the significance of 328?
Her birthday, March 28th, which is also now Lemon Face Day for the city of Mobile. So thanks to Aubrey, we have a Lemon Face Day.
And how did that come about? The Lemon Face, we had so many people participate in it. How did it start?
Well, ALS had a huge challenge with the Ice Bucket Challenge, and everyone was aware of what ALS was. And so we wanted something kind of like that to get started so that the world would know what DIPG was.
Spread awareness, for sure. And she started it on her birthday, which was perfect. And she, like you said, she got so many people from around the world to participate. Nick Saban and local politicians, and I think it was a great way to spread awareness.
It was on BuzzFeed, went as far as Japan, Australia, it went everywhere.
Did you think it would go that far?
No.
And what did she think of all that, seeing all of the response?
She loved it. She loved it. She would smile, like I said, smile always. She loved it.
And what did you think of Nick Saban doing it?
Oh, that was her favorite. That was her favorite.
And so you said one thing that you want to do is create awareness for DIPG. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of Mobile now knows about it, which is good because now we can help you raise that. But why should we help with the DIPG awareness and the fundraising?
Because there is no money. Only 4% of the money goes to childhood cancer. None goes to DIPG. Neil Armstrong's daughter passed away of it many moons ago, but there's nothing. You're told to go home and make memories, and that's not fair.
We want to change that.
Yeah.
Right. And because there's not been a lot of research for a cure, and so the more that we bring awareness and the more money that we raise, hopefully we will find a cure.
We want to be a part of the
cure.
cure.
And not just a cure, treatment. There's not even treatment for this. So we want to raise awareness and raise money and try to find a treatment, but mostly a cure.
Right. So tell us some of your fundraising efforts. I know you have a gala.
Yes.
We do. Last year was our first inaugural Lemon Face Gala on March 28th. It will forever be March 28th, whether it's a Tuesday or a Friday or whatever day. A band, food, dinner, having just a good time on her birthday. Last year we sang happy birthday to her. This year will be her 13th birthday. So we'll have that again. It'll be at the Steeple this year on March 28th. This is a Saturday night. A fun band. We'll have Naaman's Catering. We have lots of sponsors that have helped out with this. Piggly Wiggly has helped. Johnson Brothers.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing a million.
We have,
but
you can go to aubreysarmyfoundation328.com and sign up to attend the gala, be a sponsor, donate an auction item if you want to. Just participate in any way you can, and that money will go towards DIPG research.
and come out and have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what I think.
She would want us to.
When you think of Aubrey, you think of that smile.
Right.
So is that important for you guys to celebrate her birthday and to keep that going?
Absolutely, yes.
And it keeps you busy.
Yeah.
And you've continued the Lemon Face Challenge. I know
Yeah.
we did it last year.
Yeah.
What are you planning to do this year?
So we've got something kind of new in mind, Dimes for DIPG. If we're wanting all the schools that can and will to participate in this, the kids just kind of donate as many dimes as they can, whether it be one or a handful, and maybe the schools can let them wear a t-shirt or jeans of their choice or something like that, and just kind of give back and go towards the organization.
And we're going to put some information out to the principals for that, so if they want to
Correct.
participate,
Correct.
they're welcome to do so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what else have y'all been up to?
We have the Dine Out for DIPG.
Right.
A lot of local restaurants and fast food places are participating where a certain portion or a certain percentage of their the money that they make the week of the gala, which is March 23rd.
23rd to the 27th.
That percentage will go towards the foundation.
So what's it like, because you have these businesses participating, all these people to come out, so how does that make your heart feel when you see that people are still supportive?
A lot of people were there in the very beginning and you didn't know if they were going to stick around, or help support. But this disease does not discriminate. You don't know who it's going to hit next. I mean, she will not be the last, and we said that in the beginning. And there are kids around us that are still being diagnosed, and it's scary. So you hope that everything still stays the same with the community supporting. We couldn't do it without the community.
Absolutely not.
Because we've had a couple other children in our area
Right.
who've been diagnosed, and I know that's heartbreaking when we see what those families are going through. And we
Right.
all want to reach out and do something because we feel so helpless.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's why people want to reach out and do a Lemon Face Challenge or donate money or go to a gala, that sort of thing. So another fun event that I saw you at in Aubrey's honor was the Mobile Police Department and the Mobile Fire Department had a basketball
With
game.
Fondy. Yes,
Yeah.
that was a whole lot of fun. My husband's a fireman, so being there and seeing all his coworkers join in, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think it's such a far-reaching thing because Aubrey went to Allentown, but I've seen several different schools get involved, haven't they? I mean, I don't know if we can count how many schools.
I don't think I can either. It's incredible. It's incredible how many have actually gotten involved.
Yeah, and for Fondy, they chose that as their cause. Like
Right.
they picked that game, and then the kids were able to pick what they wanted to do it on. So was that an honor for you guys to know that they were
Such
doing
an
that
honor.
for you guys?
Such an honor.
And so when Mobile and when the world thinks of Aubrey, what do you want them to think of?
Her smile. I don't want them to think about her with her disease. I want them to remember her, the dancer. The Lemon Face Challenge, everything that she brought.
And her laugh. She had the best laugh
It was contagious.
ever. It was
contagious.
It was wonderful. So
Yeah.
just every time you smile, laugh, see a lemon, anything, just remember her. And I think she would be very proud of what the foundation has done, what her community has done. I think she is very proud of all of us.
Yeah, I think she would be proud too, and I'm proud of the work that you're doing. And I know that as her friends get older, they're going to keep this going for a very long time.
It's unreal.
So
Her friends are really, really
Yes.
something special too.
All right, well, thank you for the work that you're doing in our community. And we have to break for a commercial, but when we come back, I'll introduce you to some of the other community organizations that are doing good work with our schools.
When it comes to getting your child through school, at times it can be overwhelming.
What school to choose, what classes to take, how to apply for college.
To help answer these questions and more, we would like to invite you to join us on Parent Connect as we take an in-depth look at some of the issues and concerns you may have about your child's education.
So get connected with Parent Connect, weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network.
As a student in the Mobile County Public Schools, there are a few things I've come to expect. One is a quality education, and the other is a quality lunch. Not only are our school meals well balanced, meeting all federal nutritional standards, but they also have less fat, fewer calories, and they taste really good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, our school lunches contain whole wheat, grains, fruits, and vegetables to give me the energy and brain power to get me through the day.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we're talking about some of the community service projects and organizations that students in Mobile County Public Schools and our employees in Mobile County Public Schools are helping out. And so now I have joining us Justine Hurley from United Way and Dr. Monica Motley, who is a coordinator in our academic affairs, and she coordinated the United Way campaign for the faculty. So we hear a lot about United Way. I know it's an umbrella organization for a lot of the other organizations. So tell us what's the purpose of United Way, and what do you
So
do?
United Way started in 1926, and it was called the Community Chest, and that was done by a group of volunteers that were dedicated to the community. And that year, it raised about $200,000 to go back into community resources. Now we've grown to a campaign of over $3 million. We have 47 partner agencies. Those are some familiar faces like Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Penelope House, many that the school systems interacted with or worked with in the past. So we've grown quite a bit since 1926, about 93 years old.
So it's a one-shop stop, right? If you want to give to a charity that you know is going to go back into the community and do good things, it's good to give to United Way.
Absolutely. We consider United Way the community safety net, like you mentioned, because of those 47 agencies all provide resources to each other. So if you give to United Way through a campaign or as an individual, those dollars come back to the United Way, and then they're dispersed through an allocations process through those agencies, and it's all program based. So say Ronald McDonald House needs a new playground, or Penelope House needs a shelter painted, or Big Brothers Big Sisters and Boys and Girls Club are looking for new mentors. We help fund that on project base, but it's through the community that makes that difference.
Okay. And Dr. Motley, why do you think it's important for the school system to get involved with United Way?
Well, United Way and getting involved, it really helps, especially our students, to understand about servant leadership and helping them to understand about respecting others and empathy, and it's connecting the work that everyone can give back in some way. It's because of United Way, it's connected to so many agencies that our children interact with. So it's a team effort by the district. So not only it's the students, it's the faculty, it's the staff that are here, and we're all really supportive of our community. So it's a great way.
And district-wide, our employees participate, and they do the payroll deduction. And is that a big source of funding for United Way?
It is. Generally, that's a big source of funding, the payroll deduction process. But with the school system increased their campaign this year, thanks to Dr. Motley's support and leadership, and raised, over $60,000 this year. Since the school system and the United Way have partnered, over $2.3 million has been raised to United Way to go back into the community in that regard. And so like Dr. Motley said, it really shows that servant leadership. You see giving as important. You kind of see where you invest in the community, and it's all too often that you can go into a room full of people and say, who's utilized the United Way agency? And most of the room raises their hand, whether that's a child or an adult. And that's a good thing, but we want to make sure that those agencies have the resources that they need, to provide services for so many in our community.
And for one thing, too, it's important for the kids to see the adults giving back, don't you think?
Yes.
And that they're making a priority and they're doing things to give back to their community.
I think absolutely. I came through the Mobile County Public School System myself in elementary school. I was at Mary B. Austin, and those roots to success were drilled into me, and that servant leadership that's still, talked about as adults today in leadership programs across the state or local. And I remember, I specifically remember that being impactful for me, and now this is what I do for my job. So I think it really led me personally down a path, and I hope it inspires other children the same way.
That's great.
And also, too, a thing about United Way is it goes back and serves some of our same children, doesn't it, through
Exactly.
the other organizations?
Yes.
Many children in the Mobile County Public School System and all over our community utilize United Way. We serve Mobile, Clark, Choctaw, and Washington counties, and so a lot of students, we see, or they'll let us know they've utilized a partner agency, done a mentor program, have a big, and that's a really exciting thing, to see kind of how it spreads throughout the community that way.
And one way that it spreads, I know the United Way does an attendance campaign with Mobile County Public Schools because attendance is key to academic success. And so I know this year the winners were Craighead, Dauphin Island, Hutchins, and E.R. Dixon Elementary School.
Great.
And so there were specific classrooms at each school that had the highest attendance, and you guys gave them a pizza party to celebrate.
Yes, we worked with Commissioner Merceria Ludgood as a big supporter of United Way and just of the community in general. And so she sees that as really important to kind of give back and encourage attendance. The more you're in school, the more you're learning, the more those skills translate into, adulthood and into the workforce. So we want to reward things that are positive.
And Dr. Motley, this was your first time to coordinate the campaign for the district. What was that like?
Oh, wow. It was exciting, especially with us being such a large organization, too. It was exciting to see everyone participating and eager to want to do something. Like I said, it didn't matter if you were at the central office level, a staff person, or if you're working in the schools, and then the students, too. It's exciting to see them give back.
And I know I've been to the kickoff event before, and there's a lot of community people that come out to that. There's some politicians, cities, and that sort of thing, counties. There's also a lot of businesses. So what's that like for you guys to get all those people in the room and working towards one thing?
I think the most important part about that kind of community gathering is that it takes everybody. It takes everybody to support children in this community. And when businesses that give see the impact that it makes in the organizations that it serves, the people that it serves, it really helps them kind of further their drive to be involved. They'll come to a kickoff like that. They'll meet with people from partner agencies or the school system, and they really realize the impacts that nonprofits make in our community, and how they specifically help the people that we live and work with each day.
I think it's good because the grown-ups get it. And for Mobile County Public Schools, we want our children to get it. And there's another project that you and I are involved in with Mobile United where we recognize students and we're able to see that different kids like to do things to help their community. Yes. And so what's it like? And you had that where we recognize the Student Leaders of the Month.
Oh, wow. It's almost in reverse. The students really inspire us, too, because to see how much, and at every level, it doesn't matter if they're in the elementary school, the variety of abilities that they have, that they're all finding a way to give back and be a good role model for others. So I love it. I enjoy doing it and meeting the students.
We see kids from kindergarten on up, and they really want to make a difference with some of those organizations, like you said, like Ronald McDonald House. And
and they choose to give back. They see volunteerism as something that's popular and it's done, and you can do it together, and it's a lot of fun.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good.
To give back. We have a program at United Way that we run in-house called Volunteer Connect, and right now it's partnered with South Serves at South Alabama, and so it's a volunteer platform that any parent, student can go into, create a login, and see the needs in the community. And so any nonprofit can put a need in there, not just United Way partner agencies. And it could be building a playground, painting a shelter, lawn maintenance at St. Mary's Home. And if you need service hours through any school program you're doing, or just want service hours and get a group together, you can go through and see the needs that are in that platform. And then it pairs with South Alabama. And so any students, coming up in the school system that are interested in going to South already have that connection to the university that's right here. That's great.
So what do you see the future of United Way as being in Mobile?
I think United Way will be around for a really long time. I see it as, it takes an entire community to raise a community. I always say it takes a village. And that's kind of how I look at United Way. There's hundreds of businesses that give back to annual campaigns. The Mobile County Public School System, y'all are leaders in that, and you really practice what you preach. And not only are you teaching students that giving back is important, you're physically giving back yourself. And we can see the outcomes of those kind of resources when they're let into the community. We see the outcome in the agencies and what they're able to provide. So
this is something as a school system we're going to keep going as well.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. If anyone wants more information about United Way, where do they go?
Visit our website. It's uwswa.org, or you can search United Way of Southwest Alabama.
Okay, well, thank you. We have to go to commercial, and when we come back, we'll talk to people from the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
When parents are involved in school, you get more of this and less of this.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS Athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we're talking to representatives of some community organizations that are near and dear to Mobile County Public Schools. These are groups that our students and our employees work with to raise money, raise awareness, and to just give back to the community. And joining me now, I have Jessica Janat with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. You're based out of Mobile. So tell us, what do you do here in Mobile?
Here in Mobile, I partner with schools and we raise awareness of cancer, and we ask students to bring in spare change from home. All of that spare change is added together and it goes specifically for cancer research. Our goal at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is to find a cure for childhood cancer. And the way we're doing that is by getting the donations from these students. It's not only the donations, the students bringing in their change, but we're also, we want to engage the students. The social emotional learning is a big component of our project.
Mm-hmm. And you're based in Mobile, but you were telling me it's a nationwide organization, but it's a pretty new one, right?
Yes, it is. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is 70 years old. It started back whenever some parents, they lost their child to leukemia, and so they made it their life mission to find a cure for leukemia. And since then, there's been so many new therapies that's been created to help children with leukemia. One thing that I find fascinating is some of the therapies that are being created by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society don't just help people with blood cancers, it also helps people with other types of cancers as well. Some of the therapies even help people that are struggling with MS and diabetes as well.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me out of all of the cancers, leukemia is the most common one that children are diagnosed with.
Yes, absolutely. Leukemia is, that is the most commonly diagnosed cancer for a child.
And you brought some friends with you. So when you're explaining this to children, you said, I think one neat thing about this program is there is a science component, right?
Yes.
So you're teaching them about what happens in our body. So show us your props that you brought and how do you...
Absolutely. So a lot of times whenever we partner with school, we encourage them to do a kickoff assembly. And what that is I would go into a school and I use these props and I explain to them a cancer in a very elementary way. So here we have 3 different cells in our body. We have a white blood cell, we have a red blood cell, and then this is a platelet. And kind of explain what each one does in our body. So, and the students have motions with each one. So with our white blood cell, we know that that is our fighter, and so they enjoy doing this. The red blood cell, it transfers oxygen throughout our body. So they take in a deep breath and they let it out to circulate the oxygen in their body. And they learn that a platelet is there to stop blood from flowing. And we always give them an example of a scab being on your knee or maybe your arm. That's your platelets at work.
So when you do these assemblies with the kids and they see these props, does it help them to better understand what's going on inside their own bodies?
It does. They love the assemblies. They get very excited and they're so eager to go home with their coin box. And I brought this to show you. So we supply all the materials for this partnership. Each student is given a coin box and they are encouraged to go home and to fill it with just spare change from around their house. We don't expect parents to make a donation. What we've learned is there's so much spare change, whether it be by the dryer or in couch cushions or maybe the junk drawer at home. Take all that spare change and put it in the box and for the students to bring it back to school. And when they do that, they're becoming a hero. and that's what we want them to do. And they can even write on the boxes how they are a hero as well too, because we are worried about the social and emotional learning.
I love what it says. It says every hero needs a squad, so this is their squad.
Yeah, absolutely it is. It's their squad. This is the bag that each teacher receives, and this is where the change goes. And then we partner with Coinstar. So that's one question I'm often asked by a sponsor. Do we have to count all that change? And you don't. You do not have to count it. It can be simply dumped in a Coinstar, and then the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society gets a check from Coinstar. But yes, when you were talking about the squad, what we want students to do is to join in. We know that whenever someone's battling cancer, it's not just that one person. There's a whole squad of people behind them, whether it be their mom and their dad, their siblings, their friends, their doctors, and we're asking the students to join our squad and to help to eliminate cancer.
And I think a neat thing about this is even if it's a quarter, some spare change, some dimes, a couple dollars, does it add up to a big amount at the end?
It does, yes, absolutely, it does. And we're seeing so much progress with childhood cancer. The thing is that in the past, children were being given the same therapies and medication that an adult was given, and they were having lifelong effects. And we don't want that to happen. We want therapies specifically for children so that when they grow up, when they beat cancer, that they don't have lasting effects.
And you were telling me that your presence in Mobile is growing, right?
Yes.
So you were based in Birmingham, but now we have your office here.
Yeah, so in the past, someone would come from Birmingham and visit the schools here, but we've had so many schools from Mobile County to join us with this mission that now I am based here in Mobile, and I visit those schools. And so we are so thankful for that. That's because of Mr. Threadgill, so we are so thankful for his partnership and support.
I think that makes us feel good that we can, with our 89 schools, when we can give back and make such a difference that you're based here now. That's pretty cool.
Yes, awesome.
So how many of our schools participate? Is it a growing number? Or?
Yes. Last year we only had a handful. Now we have a long list of schools that's participating. We have schools, we have elementary, middle, and high schools that participate, and the way the partnership works with each one of those schools can be a little different. The key word with our program is flexibility. So with an elementary school, they might do the 3-week campaign where they're collecting change, but that might not work so well with a high school. So if it doesn't, we change things up, and I meet with the student group and say what works best at your school, and from there we plan the program.
And you were saying too that it's student-led, right?
Yes, student-led.
Is that
absolutely
important?
Yes, it is, because we want to have the students lead this. We're teaching them by leading something like this, they're learning empathy. We want them to know what cancer is. Cancer's not contagious, but a lot of students think that it is contagious. And we want them to know and to understand that just because a friend is possibly going through that we can be there and we can support that friend.
Be their friend and hug them and help them through it.
Yes,
correct?
Absolutely. And know that it's not contagious. You can't get it if they have cancer, and we want to teach them ways to support that child.
Right, and we can support that child and all the other children diagnosed with leukemia and lymphoma.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your work. We are so proud of all of our schools that participate in this project and in all the other community service projects that we've talked about today. That's all the time we have today on Homeroom. Thank you so much for joining us, and I know that we will continue to see our students giving back to the community and doing great things and making this world a better place. Thank you.